Hello everyone, and welcome to this critical debrief. Today, we delve into a real-world aviation incident to extract invaluable lessons on flight training safety and risk management. Our goal isn't to assign blame, but to analyze the chain of events, identify contributing factors, and understand how similar occurrences can be prevented in the future. This debrief is based on the National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, report CEN25LA146, involving a Piper PA28 aircraft on April 7, 2025. Let's start with the immediate facts of the incident. On the morning of April 7, 2025, at approximately 09:00 local time, a Piper PA28 161, registration number N8282V, suffered substantial damage during an instructional flight near Ault, Colorado. Thankfully, despite the significant damage to the aircraft, there were no fatalities and no injuries to either the flight instructor or the student pilot on board. Both occupants were able to egress from the aircraft safely. This incident is classified as a controlled flight into terrain or object, highlighting that the aircraft was under control, or believed to be, leading up to the impact. It's crucial to note that this was a general aviation instructional flight, meaning a learning exercise was underway, which adds a unique layer to our analysis regarding student training environments and instructor oversight. To understand the context of this accident, we must first look at the human element. Our analysis highlights a significant disparity in flight experience between the two individuals in the cockpit. The flight instructor possessed a vast amount of experience, with approximately 35,000 total flight hours and 3,000 hours specifically as an instructor. In contrast, the student pilot had a mere 10 total flight hours, all of which were in this specific aircraft type. This stark difference in experience underscores the critical reliance on the instructor's vigilance and intervention, especially during high-pressure training scenarios. Now, let's walk through the precise sequence of events that led to the accident. 1. Simulated engine failure. The incident began when the flight instructor initiated a simulated engine failure maneuver over a remote grassland area. This is a common and vital training exercise designed to prepare students for real-world emergencies. The student pilot began to perform the necessary memory items, demonstrating initial procedural compliance. 2. Critical go-around command. As the aircraft descended to approximately 300 to 400 feet above ground level, the instructor commanded a go-around. This is a crucial command, signaling the end of the simulated landing attempt and the need to apply power and climb away from the terrain. 3. Student procedural error. This is where a critical procedural error occurred. The student pilot hesitated in their response to the go-around command and, crucially, retracted the flaps without first adding power. This is a fundamental error in go-around procedure, as retracting flaps without power can lead to a rapid loss of lift and an aerodynamic stall, especially at low altitudes. The aircraft's stall warning horn immediately activated. 4. Loss of control and impact. Recognizing the impending aerodynamic stall, the flight instructor immediately took the flight controls to attempt a recovery. However, given the low altitude and the rapid degradation of the aircraft's energy state due to the premature flap retraction, recovery was extremely challenging. The main landing gear settled onto the ground, and tragically, the left wing impacted a fence post. The force of the impact caused the left wing to separate from the fuselage, and the airplane traveled through the fence, coming to rest partially upright in a pasture, sustaining substantial damage to both wings and the fuselage. The NTSB determined the probable cause of this accident to be the flight instructor's failure to maintain terrain clearance during the simulated engine failure maneuver. This primary cause is then supported by several critical contributing factors that, together, created the conditions for the accident. Aircraft control. While the student made a critical error, the ultimate responsibility for maintaining aircraft control and safety rests with the instructor. The instructor's inability to fully recover demonstrates a loss of effective control at a critical moment. Task monitoring and vigilance. There appears to have been a lapse in the instructor's monitoring of the student's actions, particularly their hesitation and the incorrect sequence of flap retraction before power application during the go-around. Decision-making and judgment. The decision to command a go-around at such a low altitude, between 300 to 400 feet AGL, left very little margin for error or recovery, especially when faced with a student's misstep. Better judgment in initiating the go-around at a higher, safer altitude could have prevented this outcome. Altitude maintenance. Directly related to the probable cause, the aircraft's descent to such a low altitude during the simulated engine failure significantly reduced the time and space available for error correction. Procedural adherence. While the student's procedural error was a direct trigger, the incident also underscores the need for continuous, robust procedural training and the instructor's role in immediately correcting any deviations from established safe procedures. This unfortunate incident provides us with powerful, albeit hard-won, insights into the dynamics of flight training and the critical importance of effective instruction and risk mitigation. Drawing from the instructor's own report and the NTSB's analysis, we can identify several key recommendations for the future to prevent similar occurrences. Enhanced briefings. Instructors should verbally review go-around procedures multiple times before any flight, especially before practicing simulated emergencies. This ensures complete student understanding, reinforces the correct sequence of actions, and helps build a shared mental model between instructor and student. Procedural discipline and muscle memory. The power, then flaps sequence for go-arounds must be drilled into students until it becomes an ingrained automatic response. This procedural discipline is vital as it reduces the likelihood of error under stress and time constraints. Higher safety altitudes. Perhaps the most critical recommendation, all simulated emergency go-arounds should be initiated at a significantly higher altitude above ground level. A greater altitude provides a much larger margin for error, ample time for correction, and sufficient space for effective instructor intervention without immediately risking terrain impact. In conclusion, this case study serves as a stark reminder that even routine training maneuvers carry inherent risks, and vigilance, clear communication, and adherence to robust safety margins are paramount. By learning from these events and implementing proactive measures, we can continuously enhance the safety and effectiveness of flight training for the next generation of pilots. Thank you for joining this debrief. Stay safe and fly smart.